We can talk about it. Go. Hello, welcome to Rokk Players. Another week, another lovely panel. And unfortunately, Martinez couldn't be with us today. He has caught some cold or something. But we have, not to fret, we have some lovely guests, and let's just introduce them. Let's start with to my over there, Eddie. Welcome, Eddie Rick.
Hello, how is everyone?
I'm good. How are you? What have you been playing this week?
Too bad. I've actually gone to the Galaxy. It took me a good while to get through Plague Tale Requiem. But yeah, these last 2 weeks, burning through, I think I'm just into chapter 11. So yeah, a good chunk through the game, but taking me all my time up.
Nice. And to your left on my screen, we have Doragon, the one and only, back again. Thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure joining you guys. You're
Always a
such
pleasure.
joyous,
Yeah.
happy, wonderful people. Except Ray in the chat. We ignore Ray.
Yeah, no. We like Ray too.
Yeah, sometimes.
And to Doragon's left, we have Miss Phoenix. Welcome to the show. First time
Hi,
having you on, and I love you
guys.
that we finally got you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining. So, what have you been playing this week?
Mix of things. So, a bit of Hogwarts Legacy, like many of you, although I haven't
Yes.
clocked in many hours, probably about
me neither.
20. So not a lot. A bit of Dreamlight Valley, Disney's Dreamlight, which Rokk
Nice.
was streaming on Saturday. I've played a lot of it, too much of it. I need to stop. It was like 1 o'clock this morning and I was planting pumpkins and I was like, what am I doing? I've got to get up for work.
Let me guess, in like 6 hours?
Yeah, way too much. Bit of Last of Us remastered. Playing
Nice.
a bit of that. So we've been playing it after we've been watching the episode every week. So that's been good fun. And finished Resident Evil 3 the remake recently as well. So yeah, I got a lot of games that I'm juggling at the minute. Most of these zombie games, with a little bit of Disney chucked in. So,
Yeah, there does seem to be a theme going on there, yeah.
yeah.
So the second Dreamlight Valley adds zombies, then you're screwed. Then it's a game over at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Dorgan, what have you been playing? I realized I didn't ask you.
Uh,
Skipped right over.
There's been the mainstay Destiny 2, been helping friends get through some of the tougher content. Been trying to do some of that myself, unlock all of the unlockables with the new expansion. I've then been trialing out multiple different services. So I've tried Boosteroid for the first time recently. So just been playing a bit of everything on that, see how it's working. Of course, we got Luna yesterday, so I've been trying that.
Lucky
There's a bit of
bastards.
Assassin's Creed work on there and what have you. So yeah, bit of mix of everything. Got back into Horizon Forbidden West today. That was fun. Forgot how beautiful that game is. Holy heck. There is nothing that comes close.
Yeah, it's Sony's good at that graphics stuff. For sure.
Graphics, story,
Yeah.
making me fall to my death. Yeah, the normal stuff.
Yeah. And my now regular guest, regular co-host, I would say, Ninja Guy X, welcome.
Hey,
What's been happening over your place?
been gaming, been streaming, been working, the usual.
Fun games?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of first looks. I've been very lucky this week and maybe last week. A lot of developers have approached me and do some exclusive early looks on some of the games. So I've been doing an exclusive look on the one I was most excited for was Grappin, or I don't know if it's Grappin. Maybe it seems like a French word, but anyway, I'm going to call it in English Grappin. And it's so fun. It's all you have to do is basically you hook your way through multiple stages, and you have to find like collectibles everywhere. It's really, really addicting. Think like Worms or Armageddon, like when you travel with the grappling hook, like that's pretty much what it is, but in 3D. Like, yeah, it's
Oh
really
man, that sounds fun.
yeah. But other than that, off stream, I've been playing some Dark Souls 3. I decided, I got to progress through my From Software library, and this is where I'm at right now, and I've been having a lot of fun with that.
A lot of fun dying, I guess.
Yeah, that also. I'm not gonna show my death count. I'm sorry about that.
Way into double digits, or are we talking triple?
I'm not telling you. I'm telling you. I'm only going to tell you that I'm an esport Dark Souls 3 player. So
Yeah,
it's
triple
totally,
digits then. Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, and as for myself, I've been playing honestly mostly Fall Guys and Hogwarts Legacy. That's like
Nice.
my
Good
life.
choices.
But I did squeeze in this morning. I found or rather rediscovered a game that I saw at one point. Like added to my wish list on Google Play, which is like Isle of Arrows, which is basically a tower defense with card game mechanics added to it, like the tabletop mechanics added to it. So you have like a deck, like you have basically one card, and you can see the next card after that, and then you can then pay a bit of gold to get that next card instead, or as well, and then you play basically one or several cards per turn if your economy allows for it, and build out, like using these tiles. You build out not only the track that the critters go through, but also the towers and some other power ups in between. It's really really good. I should play a lot of that today. Downloaded this morning, and it's really good.
And guys, if you want to see a little bit more on the game, Bjorn has actually made a 1-minute review on his channel.
Yeah,
so go check it out.
I did that.
It's really cool. Yeah, yeah, you did it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's a concept that I dabbled in a couple of almost a year ago at this point, and I decided to bring it back because it's a fun idea. It's fun. It's a fun challenge to try to review a game in less than a minute. Not as easy as it sounds, I gotta say. You gotta tweak that script a lot. So yeah, it was fun challenge. And,
very different from a 2-hour show, right? Like you have to cram it all in 1 minute.
Like yesterday, they made a 1-minute review, and today we're doing a 2-hour show. That's perfect balance.
There you go.
Maybe I can
you need the short and the long.
Yeah, maybe I can do something in between, maybe tomorrow or something. Let's get cracking. I mean, as you mentioned before, Dorian, the big news today, I think, at least in the cloud space, Luna has finally left the States and is now in more places than the States. It's now in Germany, Canada, and
Sod off, Rokk. I've had that my entire goddamn life.
That myself.
What just happened?
You can bring it back. Let's bring it back up. Who else thinks Doragon looks like a better looking Robbie Williams?
Oh my gosh.
Look, just because my grandparents' house is round the corner from where he grew up, just because I was trained to sing by the same guy who trained him, just because we're both from Stoke-on-Trent, does not mean...
Give us some tunes. Give us a song.
Totally.
I've had that my entire life. Everywhere I've gone, even around Australia and New Zealand, even in South Korea. Robbie Williams? No, I am not.
That's curse of your life then. For the rest.
Rokk has just brought up PTSD. I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
I mean, he's not even on the show, man.
Not even here and causing chaos. Jeez.
And I mean, he does have a point. I mean, I've never seen you and Robbie Williams on at the same place once.
There's a distinct lack of a beer gut going on here. I don't know if you've noticed, but
and some slight age difference as well, maybe.
No greys, full head of hair.
Yeah. But also welcome, and finally we have you on the show from the beginning. Not in your car this time. Welcome.
Listen, man, what have I been playing? You don't have to ask me. Baby, what have I been playing? I've been tearing.
I'm gonna guess you WWE.
WWE.
Yeah.
20, WWE. Oh, I thought he was playing Formula 1 2022.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you.
But, yeah, man, I just been playing wrestling like crazy, doing my wrestling league on Wednesdays on We Wrestle Wednesdays, the All-Purpose Championship Wrestling League, and just a lot of cool stuff, man.
Man, it feels like the wrestling has taken over your life.
Listen, I tried to tell you guys a long time ago.
Not that it's a bad thing.
I'm a big wrestling fan, and people's like, well, what are you gonna do? Stadia don't get WWE 2022. I was like, cause you love Stadia so much. I was like, well, if they don't get that, I'll probably have a problem. And in the end, that's kind of like the that kind of messed me in Stadia up because I had to get the game. But anyway, besides that, yeah, man, I'm just a big wrestling fan, and most of the times on camera, I'm pretty much a character. Some people hate me, they love me, but that's what you do. You never break character. But anyway, I'm here with you beautiful people, so we can talk gaming. So how you guys doing?
Yeah, doing all right.
We're doing all right.
All right, cool.
I love the energy. You just sucked over into the corner over there.
All right.
Awesome.
Pure silence was great.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Right. So Luna is out. Like all of you guys could outplay Luna except me.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my gosh, that's really unfortunate.
Fuck the rest of the world, I guess. So yeah, congrats, guys. You can play Luna now. How is it? Tell me. Is it good? Should I be jealous?
I want Doragon to go first. Doragon, I've watched your video. I sweat through it a little bit, and I want to see what you think about it.
Well, I can make it short. I live in the United States, so I was able to play it from day one, and I never played it. So, I just never had interest in it. I felt like what it had, Stadia had, and the games it didn't have, I didn't have interest, and I was just happy with Stadia, so I never ever tried it.
Do you have Prime?
I do have Prime.
So
Still never tried it.
Yeah, so then like the barrier of entry is basically nothing then for you.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, we got the 4 rotating games each week, but yeah, I never played. The only thing I did one time, Ryzak, we did the couch co-op thing, so I did do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, so that's the bit of Luna I played. We played like one game on couch co-op. I don't even remember what game it was, and we played like a match or something just to see if it works. So that's my experience.
Right, but Dorgan, you've tried it so far, yeah? No, I take it.
I've tried it. I put a video out half an hour before we went live. Yeah. Not good. If it had been a lower resolution, if it had been 30 frames per second, if it had been one of the standard issues, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But my experience has been absolutely trash.
Oh, wow.
And I've cancelled my subscription within 4 hours of signing up for it.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great review for...
Yeah, right?
I was curious.
Utterly shocking.
Because Doragon did a review of Luna just a few months ago, and I was wondering if it was going to change for him, but it looks like it's
got worse.
Yeah,
it got worse somehow. Like, I did that review. I did it tongue in cheek, like, oh, how can you review a service without touching it, sort of thing. And I never touched on how it performed in that review. I looked over like its business model and all that sort of stuff. It's like it can't fit into people's lives. And to be fair to them, bits of that have changed. So they don't have all of the channels that they used to anymore. They've rolled a couple of them into the basic channel, streamlined some of the games. They don't have any of the double ups because they had like the games doubled up in different channels. So you were paying twice to get one game sometimes, and so on and so forth. So they've definitely streamlined it. It's much cheaper to get everything now, which is great. But now going hands-on with it, I can't realistically recommend it to anyone.
No, but what's your actual issue? I feel like you didn't really say what you had a problem with.
Horrific input lag, audio latency, graphical tearing, freezing, any of the problems that everybody said cloud gaming would have, I experienced within a 3-minute window.
Oh, wow.
And then it did not improve.
Yeah, I've always heard Luna was like really good, so I was shocked.
It probably has to do with the locations, right? Because maybe USA, they have their infrastructure maybe a little bit better than other places. Mm-hmm. Because I'm kind of experiencing like half of Doragon what is experiencing. I've tried it, and the not the lag, but the latency is a lot worse than the other services that I have. But for me, the video quality is amazing, like compared to other service. Like it's really, really crisp. But you kind of like have to give up the latency because of that, which I'm not a fan of. Because when I play my games, I want the best latency out there, especially for games like Mortal Kombat, right? Or I even tried, I wanted to try a first-person shooter because this is a good test for latency. But Luna barely has any first-person shooters. You have to go like in the Ubisoft library to get something like Far Cry or something like that. But like in terms of like the independent games, there wasn't too much. So that was an issue for me too. But I think I still see some potential because maybe eventually during Frustration we'll get better. But I'll have to wait a little bit on myself to play it also.
It's the same conversation we've been having for 3 years since it was announced, though, Ninja. And it's like, okay, they've got one tick box, they've expanded slightly, but poor Bjorn sat there still without the service. Nothing's changed for him, and there are folk who are having exceptional experiences. I watched Rokk's stream yesterday, and his looked flawless, which made me really excited to try it, and then I had what I had. But
interesting.
Yeah, 3 years down the line, and we're still having the same conversations around it.
My one issue in the same conversation, which made me never try it, I'm a multiplayer fan. And Luna, like, how do you not have how do you have a service? Like, I heard some of the Ubisoft games do got multiplayer, but your regular games, how do you have games that has no multiplayer? That's, like, couch co-op can't be the only way, that you offer multiplayer as a service. I can't. Yeah, that's for me. It's unfathomable. I can't even subscribe, right? Like, let's say there's a game like a fighting game, right? And there's no multiplayer. It's like, wait, what? Shouldn't that be one of the main things so I could play other people online? But there's no online online support. That's unless they change. Unless they
there's still no online multiplayer. So things like your Overcooked 1 and 2 are in there. Really good, really solid games. Amazing chaotic fun if you get 4 people playing.
They're still fun, so much fun.
You can only do that if you're all sat in the same room. Which
not
at that point
the remote couch thing they have.
The couch co-op, yeah. So you can do it, but I mean there must be limits to it, right? Like you must only be able to do it with another player or something like that, right? Like if you want to play Doom, for example, like I'm sure you can do couch co-op with like some players. But the thing is also is that if it doesn't have local co-op, then it's not going to work. It's
correct.
Because
it's only
you need online. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Phoenix, have you tried Luna yet, or will you?
No, so I haven't tried it yet, but I thought it looked pretty sweet on Rokk's stream yesterday. To be honest, I thought it looked pretty good. But I am a Prime Amazon member anyway, so I'll probably just check it out and just play the free ones, and then make up my own kind of mind on if I want to spend that extra bit of money.
Maybe we all need to go at Rokk's place to have like the best experience because everybody seems to have watched Rokk's
and
enjoyed it. Yeah, exactly.
Crash his house anyway. Yeah,
we need to knock on his door and I'll be there.
I just need to go down to Rokk's place for the rugby.
Hey, you can come with us.
Exactly.
I don't live far.
Perfect. Yeah, I just live this 6 hours away. Yeah, just no issues there.
I mean, to be honest, I could probably get there faster than you then if I just
probably because you could just fly straight into his airport. I've got to drive down the worst roads in the world.
I just want to go to Rokk's place for the singing. I just want him to do a live mini concert.
Hey, if we go to Rokk's, we're all karaokeing. That's one of the rules.
For sure. Gotcha.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Eddie, don't shake your head like that, man. Don't shake.
You don't want to hear me
head.
singing. I already get told off by the kids and the wife.
And then so, 5 years down the line, you'll be singing with the rest of us. I promise.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think everybody does at that point,
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so I mean, it was basically Luna is a bit of hit and miss, it seems, and well, I guess I'll probably never find out.
In 3 years, man. 3 years.
Another 3 years, maybe. I mean, the funny thing is, like, because Amazon has obviously one of the best cloud infrastructures out there with like AWS. We have an AWS data center here in Stockholm. So, and I mean, it's not custom hardware as far as I know. Like.
And some services are using AWS, right? Like I'm not sure which one, but there are cloud gaming out there that does that.
AWS powers probably 40 to 50% of all cloud operations on the planet. So it's
we use it at work. It works perfect.
I supply the stuff for them, and the orders that come through are ridiculously huge.
Wow.
they're unfathomable in terms of quantity.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, but Eddie, have you tried?
I was say just to answer Rock's question. I haven't yet. Same as everyone. I watched Rock's team yesterday. Looked really good, really crisp.
We all
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago, I linked my Ubisoft account. I mean, the only thing that puts me off, and it's similar to xCloud, as I said earlier, it took me 5-6 months just to play through Plague Tale Requiem. My playtime is very short, so I hate to get into a game and then just before I get to the end, it goes, "Oh, we're moving this off the service." So I always tend to grab a game I can keep hold of, play until my heart's content. So yeah, I will give it a go. Like I say, I played all Requiem through xCloud. Didn't hit any issues. That was fine. So yeah, hopefully it's a similar experience. But in terms of Luna, how it is at the moment, I don't think it suits my model. But yeah, definitely give it a go, and I'll give feedback.
Yeah, it's worth trying. For anybody who's got Prime, you've got access to 4 games anyway, and any of your Ubisoft library that's been bought through Ubisoft Connect. So yeah, give it a go. Why not?
I'm the same as a ER, where I think that's my number one priority, is that it can be a service because of the it takes a long time for me to finish games also. So I totally understand you in that way.
Yeah.
You guys finish games?
I try
Every
to.
single game. Like I will pick a game up and I will play it to completion, even if I hate it. I slogged my way through Deathloop last year, hated every single second of it, got to the end, and I was so relieved. Down goes the controller. Where's the matches for the disc?
I'm the exact opposite. I am known for playing a game for an hour and be like, I'm done. Like my interest. So Ninja Guy and I, we had a conversation before, and my reason why I'm not the biggest fan of subscription service, because I'm a specific gamer, right? Like if I see a game and they have a trailer that looks amazing, I want to play that. But I don't want to get a service just to look at a plethora of games and be like, well, that looks the thumbnail looks good. So for me, and I rent games like Rokk does. So I'll rent a game that a trailer looked cool, and when I get it, I give it that first try. My first impressions, I like to call it. Might be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But if it doesn't hook me, I do not. Like when people say my backlog is 3,800 games. No, my backlog is like 4 games. Because those are 4 games I want to play and beat. The other ones, I have access to them, but I don't even mentally. It's like I don't have them. You know, that's just me.
Yeah, see, every single game I don't play, it's like you say, first, couple of hours at most. If I'm not hooked, it goes down, goes away. I forget I have it. I'm drawn into the stories. So if a story grips hold of me, that's it. I will play it. And then you got your biggest like Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I play them to death. I've got 100% on both of them. Occasionally did a little bit of YouTubing to get those last couple of bits, but yeah, like games like that with a good story, especially good fighting mechanics. Yeah, I'll play until I can. But yeah, it needs to grip you. If you can't get gripped in those first couple of hours, you kind of just slog it through. You end up not enjoying it.
Teach me your wise ways to.
Yeah, you'll be like Dorgon. I hate this game.
I'm tired of playing through games I don't like.
I'm like the complete opposite, because I'm a console gamer and the games are so expensive. I feel like I have to, and the only time I've basically put a game in the bin was the last Battlefield, and that's because it blew up my PlayStation. So,
That's bad.
Okay,
it got stuck in the console. It went back to the factory and it never came back. And I was really proud. I was really happy.
I can imagine.
I know the feelings, Felix. I know the feelings. Console gamers, it's so expensive, but I do also think it's worth it.
£67 a game. It's a lot of money. So I feel like I have to know that I'm going to absolutely love it to buy it.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
And then I have to put the hours in to make it worth the money.
It's why I finished Deathloop, because I paid the 60 quid for it. It's like I'm going to finish it.
You know what's crazy?
Don't get me wrong, I could have returned it and got my money back, but nope, I had to finish. Like that mindset's so different when you bought it.
And then the funny thing, it came to Game Pass and PS Plus.
Shut up. Shut up.
Just say it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm at this point in my life where I don't I have a handful of hours a week to game at best, and half of that is spent playing something together with the kids. Usually, right now usually Fall Guys, but we've had other games in the past. But it's usually not story-based games you can actually finish. And then that means if I'm finished a game like Hogwarts Legacy, I intend to finish it. But I'm not gonna 100% it, never, and it's gonna take me like 6 months at least. So, yeah, it's not worth it. Like finishing games is not worth it. I love trying out new games, even for just a bit. But yeah, that's I'm never gonna finish one. But I feel like that's also why I really like doing first looks. And I know that just like Linnea does, like find these like weird and wonderful indie games and play them for like an hour or two, and then like move on. And like a lot of these games I do want to come back to at some point, but let's be real, I'm probably not going to. But I do. But then at least I can give them some spotlight, so maybe someone else can find them and play them for more than 1 hour or 2 hours. But yeah, some of these indie games are really good. So yeah, I mean that's part of the reason why I love cloud, because that I can just play whatever I want whenever I want, and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I like to, for me, like, I just want to learn every game, right? So I just want to play every game and learn about them, and just whenever I talk to someone, I just want to know about the game and just, be passionate about any kind of game we can talk about, I like that I'm looking at Phoenix screen, and I know that this is a Moogle, I know that this is a Cactuar, and, I just love talking about video games. I think that's what I like the most. So that's why I love playing all of these games and understand them and have a conversation with whoever. And I'm also a console gamer, but I've kind of switched since the cloud. What I do now, instead of buying games to play them, I buy them physically to support them, to give them my support. So when I play a game and I really like it, then I'm gonna try to give them a little bit more money to to support them, to give them a reason to make more games and things like that. So that's why you see a little collection here. It's all games that I really enjoy, and giving some support.
That collection, is that a mirror pointing back over your head to see your collection that's there in front of you?
No, it's not.
That would be a clever
the furniture. Yeah,
Oh,
that'd
okay.
be cool though. Yeah, that would be
that
really
would be
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I want to finish games, and I used to finish games, but I can't remember the last game I finished, to be honest. I'm not sure which one that was. I think it might have been. I mean, would you count rushing through the main story of Assassin's Creed Valhalla to get to the epilogue, but then never actually finishing the epilogue of it all? I rolled the credits, but then
if you roll credits,
none of the side missions basically.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you could skip side missions.
Yeah. If you roll credits, that's finishing a game to me. That's the main story, the main.
But
point
then there
of
was
the
an
game
epilogue
finished.
that I didn't play.
You didn't need to. It was awful.
Yeah, no. I think that would also be like
that
the
was
last game I finished, but and like before that, probably the same thing with Odyssey. So.
Yeah, but those were two other games I hated having to finish.
Yeah, I've had one of those instances where I like hated finishing a game, but I did it because I wanted to know how the story progressed, and that was Dragon Age 2. Really bad game. Loved one. I knew there was a third one coming, and I was like, I want to see what happens in the third one. So I just powered through number 2 in like, I think
just crying as you're playing.
Yeah, like almost like I pushed myself through. Like I think I did it in one sitting. All of the whole game in one sitting just to get through it. Because I really if I put this down, I'm never gonna pick it back up again.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I really do.
Yeah, I just skip side quests. When I'm like just want to play and beat a game, like God of War, I skip most of the side quests. Like there's games I just want to experience it and play it and beat it, and then if I like it that much, I'll go back and do the side quests. Like when I beat God of War, I watched the credits and then I was like, oh, I want to do more stuff. And that same sitting, I was doing some side quests. So I think it's kind of cool when you leave some stuff on the table, because now you got a reason to go back, or you could just say, well, instead of extending that play, just get through it and then go back, or say, well, I'm done.
To be fair, I kind of do want to jump back into Odyssey, because I really enjoyed my time in there.
That's cool.
But then I would have to start over, because that save was on Stadia. So and I didn't bother exporting it at all.
It's not worth the 300-hour slog, mate. Not again.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe not a second time.
Yeah,
Just
what
stay on the
game is
first
worth
island
300?
and kick people off mountains. You're more than happy then.
Sounds like what Ved would do, right? Ved would do that all day,
yeah,
every
right.
day.
Vet's done it
that's-
3 times, the madman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like to me, Odyssey is one of those. Like I found like it's one of those games you find your way of playing it, and then you do that for like 100 hours until you get bored of it. And for me, that was basically hide in a unlock the Artemis arrow, like the ghost arrow that flies, so you can shoot through things. And then I hid in a bush right outside the keep, shot down everyone, and then just waltzed in and looted everyone and went back and left.
You know, so totally realistic and
Yeah,
based
yeah.
in technology. That
Yeah.
Nothing is magical. Everything has a real technological explanation. There's
The
no
thing
rules
is-
to making these games or anything at all that they put out in the world.
Is, with like I see what you mean with Assassin's Creed, and they completely lost it at this point. But at the same time,
A little bit.
like Odyssey was probably the most fun I've had in an Assassin's Creed ever. Like I loved it. So it's the probably the most one that's just out there, but it's also the most fun I've had. So not I mean those parts didn't affect that much. I think the biggest thing was probably the the world and also the writing. But whereas Valhalla's, I think Odyssey had decent writing compared to and it was kind of like aiming to be kind of fun. Like it wasn't trying to be too serious, and then it had some serious moments. But like in general, it was kind of goofy, and it knew it, and I liked that. Whereas Valhalla is trying to be more serious and also not really pulling it off. So I guess that's. I mean, it's fine if you to leave it away from the way it's supposed to be, if you really go for it and you know what you're doing, and I think they did with Odyssey. I think they failed with Valhalla. So
I mean, you're right on Valhalla. You're wrong on Odyssey, but you're allowed your wrong opinion.
fair enough.
I got a question for you. Are we moving away from Luna? Because I got 5 other gamers here, and I got a question if it's okay to ask.
Shoot.
Hit me.
So, do you guys feel that this expansion? Because I would like to say before this expansion, most people had a waving a flag that Luna was over. So, do you feel this expansion makes them safe? Do you feel this expansion says, "Hey, they're not going anywhere"?
No.
No.
I would be surprised if they're still here in 2 years' time.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting.
I would be nicely surprised because it's working really well for a lot of people, but it's probably given them a bit more life because there's a big news article around it. People are paying attention to it, trying to understand what it is. But with the vast differences in experience that we've all had, if you get a big channel like, say, Linus Tech Tips pick it up and have such a bad experience in
Maybe
Canada.
not Linus Tech Tip right now.
Yeah, they're kind of gone at the moment. Yeah, we'll see what happens with them.
Someone like that.
Someone along those lines, but a big tech channel, a trusted influencer, if they pick it up and use it in one of these new locations, turn around and tell their entire audience of however many million people that it's terrible, it's just going to be another nail in the coffin. And there's only so many of those that they can take before it's the end of days for them. It was the same thing with Stadia. We saw just the negative press, the negative conversation around it have more and more impact upon it.
Yeah.
What about you, Ninja Guy?
Man, it's a tough one, but I like to compare it with, Google announcing that they expanded in Mexico, but then they didn't do it, and then they closed off. But people say, well, Luna actually did the expansion beforehand, so they might be safe. But to me, I still feel like it doesn't mean anything. I'd also like to think that it cost them almost nothing to host these, just like Google, right? Like Google, it didn't cost them much to do it. It's just, if we compare it to Google, it's really hard. Why are you laughing so much, Dorian?
Cat's comment.
So true. It's so true.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, I've only killed off 2 services so far. I'm sorry,
there
guys.
you go. but it's hard to say. It's in the unknown, I guess. I can't really. I need facts. I need more facts. I can't really like
Right.
say if it's gonna stay or not. It's hard to tell.
What about you, Eddie?
Pretty much same boat. I mean, weighing up the costs, not the costs, but the differences. Stadia were starting to go down the path of more games. Luna still, if we're honest, I mean, again, this is from my perspective, has nothing that I want to play. Again, the subscription model doesn't suit, and again, it's all opinionated to me. Doesn't suit what I'm after. You don't really hear that many people playing it. Again, it has only just come out, to UK and Europe. So and Canada. So whether that does start getting a bit of momentum, I think the first 6 months are going to be the telltale signs. If all of a sudden that starts to get ramping up and more people using it, yes, it's good news. But yeah, I can't really see it. I think it'll go down the same path as Stadia.
Phoenix?
Yeah, the same really. I think it might just die a slow death. I'm not really sure. So I might be with Doragon on this one. I'm sorry.
Limping along.
Yeah.
What about you, B?
I think it feels a bit like Amazon is keeping Luna. Like they did Luna to show that they're also in the game, and then didn't really know how to progress with it in a sense. I mean, Serena commented that maybe hoping they would do better job at advertising. I don't think they will, because they have done basically none of it so far. And I think it comes down to, like, I don't think Amazon leadership really knows what to do with it. They don't want to shut it down, because it's a benefit for Prime. I think what will probably happen is they will probably get rid of the Luna Plus channel and just move that into, make it a bit smaller, and move it just have the Prime Luna Luna is now a part of Prime. You get just like Prime Gaming. So every month you get a couple of games for PC. You get some free in-app purchases for a couple of games, and then you can stream some rotating games through Luna as part of Prime. I think that's because I don't think they want to close it down, though, because I think I think they will try the Prime way first, and then realize quickly that if they then close it down, that's removing value for Prime customers, which is something they never want to do, because they want everyone on Prime, and then it's just gonna stay there being a small side thing that people don't really care about.
Yeah.
If they had pushed it properly, unless the only thing that can pretty much change my mind on that is if they really keep this week and the next week keep pushing out new games, push it out, do a proper marketing push, and maybe then within a month or two launch in more countries here in Europe. I think that might be okay, they're taking it seriously now. But if they're not doing anything like that, then it's just going to be something that lingers on forever as a small part of Prime.
Yeah, if it's going to be more, it's going to need exclusive content as well.
Yep.
The reason PlayStation Plus, which was PlayStation Now previously, has been around since 2013, is it's got the PlayStation exclusive content on there. People will pay money for those PlayStation exclusive games.
Yeah, and
people come back to xCloud. Yeah, but I bought xCloud 2 months ago for Hi-Fi Rush. I hadn't bought it for a year, but they put a new exclusive on there. Take my money, I will play that game immediately, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Amazon have their own games. They're just massively multiplayer online games, which Luna doesn't do.
Yeah,
I can't fathom that at all. But
Yeah,
until they start putting them out there, I don't feel it's going to grow in any way, shape, or form. And as you said, it's probably just going to end up as a teeny tiny benefit.
The reason why I think Luna's not going to make it is they're not doing anything new. So we're getting all these companies ramping up right now. Boosteroid's getting a name. People are kind of know what GFN is now. Luna isn't doing anything new. And for instance, right, the cloud gaming platforms that's getting some recognition. Why? Because they're doing this 10-year deal with Call of Duty. Luna doesn't allow you to purchase games. So how could they do a deal? So I feel Luna did a little expansion, cool, right? But I don't think it's enough, because I think it's a little too late. And then you got people like Doragon having bad issues. So let's say if Doragon had a great issue, no issues, and it was amazing. What games is he excited about anyway. And the Luna's model, because it's, you know, the amount that you pay is a good price, right? But they don't have they're not doing it like Game Pass where you're getting day and date games. So you're like you said, right? So I didn't get it for Hi-Fi Rush. I waited, but I wanted to play it. I waited to Atomic Heart, so I got it technically to play 2 games,
nice.
right? So I was like, I'll wait. So, right? But Luna doesn't have that. Luna's model was always to give you older games or cheaper games. And when they did get a new game, the biggest new game, a day and date game they got was Chorus. And that was a $39.99 game. And a great game, right? So I think the thing is, Amazon's going to find that they're just going to they expand, which it should bring more people, and they're probably going to see they're not getting that many people. And then, to you guys' point, that's probably when they're going to say, you know what? Because I always thought Stadia, why would Google lose all this money on the table? Cloud gaming is the future, right? But even Google realized, well, how much money are you going to spend to hope later on? Because as later on starts coming, GFN's getting more popular, xCloud. So you have to figure, how much money do we spend to stay in the game to hope we get popular? But these companies are already more popular. So what's going to make people say, let's play that and not this? So I think inevitably that's why Luna's probably going to close.
I mean, we don't have any user numbers, but I would assume that it's lower than like 2 million active users on Luna.
Oh, easily. I would say you're
Which
probably
means
talking
that-
a maximum 20 million cloud gamers worldwide.
Yeah, no, but
And-
like Luna specifically, I would say
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, because you're fighting for such a portion of such a small area of gamers, and they're aiming at the console gamer as well, which is only 155 million out of all of the billions of gamers on the planet. It's you've niched down too far almost in that regard at that point.
Yeah. Here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I buy all my stuff on Amazon, all my gaming stuff, all my PlayStation stuff. I haven't seen Luna promoted to me at all. And I wondered if you guys have seen anything.
Me neither.
because
I haven't.
Nope,
And
not
I
even
don't know why.
emails, you know,
No.
nothing. Yeah, that's
You
crazy.
know, apart
I
from
feel-
everyone on Twitter and those that have got the
Yeah.
controllers
Twitter.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you count Ray as a billboard, then I've seen lots of advertising. The amount of retweeting and stuff that he's been doing, it's been better than what Amazon has ever put out. But I've only seen advertising for GFN in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's all of these cloud gaming providers. The only reason anybody knows Boosteroid now is Microsoft signed a deal with them.
Yeah. And to
True.
Phoenix
then,
point,
then
right?
again, I mean,
And-
even
no,
before that though, I mean, Boosteroid did announce that they had 4 million users quite recently. So, and that like they did announce that while talking about like on the back of the Microsoft deal too, probably as like a marketing push. But still, that's quite a lot. Like they are, I mean, as independent like Ukrainian Romanian company has more than twice or like 4 times as many users as Stadia ever did, like Google ever did. That's quite telling. I mean, obviously GeForce Now is the biggest in the market, and then you have, I mean, xCloud is hard to count because Game Pass Ultimate is like
Yeah, because you can only get it in Ultimate, can't you?
but they have said like 20 million people have tried cloud gaming through xCloud. So, I mean, xCloud and EFN are around the 20 million people have tried it mark. That's all we know. And then obviously Booster being 4 million is very impressive. So I think they even did I feel Booster they were on quite a roll even before the Microsoft news. So
Yeah,
But yeah.
Well, they had
yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy, didn't they? So
yeah.
Yeah, and say, but was it January? They were already up to 2 million. And then obviously Hogwarts came along on top of the Xbox announcement. That too come straight up to 4 million, so doubled the quote.
Hence
I
the
mean,
server is just for a while there.
It's, doesn't that kind of answer the question on what the market is after, though? So everyone that seems to be building and boosting is all this bring your own game. We'll provide the technology, we'll provide you, like Boosteroid, the connection into YouTube so you can stream your games to your friends and family and stuff like that. They're the ones that build the likes of Stadia, which did have its YouTube, but it wasn't bring your own games. It was purchase them again in our ecosystem. Luna doesn't have those games. I mean, you've got your smaller ones, but they're very unique, like your Atomic. Again, that's a set library that you go in and play. Kind of a what do you class it as a
there's like two
Netflix
schools
library?
of,
But yeah. Yeah, so the ones that are building, and I think I was going to say, come on the back of where Luna can go, and unless they kind of change their model to say, right, okay, bring games, but again, you need those features such as couch play. Unless they kind of move to that area and then get the Xbox deal, I can't see them kind of build from there. But I think that's where what gamers are after. If they want to play on the phones, away from the PC, they're traveling, they need that bring your own game onto our platform to play.
That was something I said in my Luna video today. The fact that when I'd had such a bad experience, they've got the same thing as most of the others where you can feedback once you end a gaming session. And I said how bad it was, what was wrong with it. One of the responses was, oh, plug in an Ethernet cable. You told me I could play on this. You told me that this device was completely compatible, and I don't see an Ethernet port on the bottom of this thing.
You got a dongle, man.
For 40 quid. It's things like that. It's like cloud gaming is meant to untether you. And it's why I have problems with PlayStation Plus, because it doesn't untether you. You're either connected to the same existing console or you're connected to a static computer. It doesn't allow you to take that experience elsewhere. Okay, you've got remote play, but that's not the same thing. Xbox Cloud Gaming gives you that untethered experience. I can walk up to the top of the hill over here where there's bugger all signal and somehow still get to play it. And it feels exactly the same as when I'm playing it on my gigabit broadband at home, which probably says more about xCloud than it should. But that's the untethered experience. That is what cloud gaming is meant to be bringing. Right. As Eddie said, it's meant to send you in and allow you to have this access elsewhere in other ways. And so many of them, even like the likes of GeForce Now, aren't offering you that untethered experience. You're still in same place, same location, gaming in the same way. It's not advancing the industry any, and I feel that needs to change if it's going to be part of the industry. We don't want it to go the same way as motion controls.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I mean, I play most of my gaming period is played with the keychain on my phone, either on the couch or in bed, or out and about. Like
right there with you.
Yeah,
aha, nice.
Honestly, I can't go. I don't see myself going back to ever playing on maining like a console again after this. Like there's no, I've seen the light. I'm not gonna go back to
Serenade us with you seeing the light.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go back to a console again.
I'm from the same. I got rid of my console during lockdown. I was fully in Stadia. Stadia is the future. I'm there all the way. We know that went. So I mean, I travel, as many of you probably heard me say on the Rokk show and stuff. I do a lot of travel up and down the country. I follow my local football team, and if I'm in the car, I've got my phone, I've got my Stadia controller, now Bluetooth, which is great. But I'll play xCloud, GeForce Now on that. It's it's hooked up onto a little magnetic stand, and that does me fine. Okay, there's blips where it drops out, or you get a bit of latency. Pause the game, give it a couple of seconds, carry on again. It's not a fully immersive as if I was sitting at my PC with my monitor and everything, but it still gets me gaming more. And I've played more hours that way than I probably have at my desk. So I think GeForce Now and Xbox especially. I mean, I haven't tried PlayStation, but those give you opportunity to get out and about and play, out of your normal comfort zone.
How is everybody getting these surveys for cloud
what's
services?
I want in.
They've excluded you from the marketing email.
Well, when Rokk was saying earlier about, I didn't get a nice graphic, and I was like, I didn't get one. Oh wait, I called them abject failures last year. Yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah.
Like, no, we don't want to add his answers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Rokk. Speaking of Rokk, he had a good comment about a bit back. With the big boys focusing on mobile now, if Microsoft and PlayStation let cloud wither, the whole market could collapse. What do you think?
100%. They're the only two propping it up realistically. Like GeForce say, we got 20 million users. How many of those are just free? Like I've got an account on my work phone that I've never used. I set it up to record something for a video. How many other content creators have done that? How many GeForce users have got multiple different accounts? And how many are completely inactive? So that 20 million number, it isn't a true reflection of how many players there are. So, it's very much a case of if Xbox and PlayStation let their cloud operations go, nobody else has got to say, because they are propping that entire sector of the industry up right now, because they have the games, they have a decent price, either monthly or annually, and people who use them like them, regardless of whatever caveats and provisos they come with. So yeah, I would probably agree with what Rokk's saying there.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm on the other side of the fence. If Xbox and PlayStation slow down, I still think the likes of GeForce Now and Boost Story can still prop it up. Again, as long as they keep that bring your own games. Yeah, I mean, before Stadia collapsed, I saw GeForce Now, and it was a case of, okay, I don't have a PC library or a Steam library, so I'm not even going to try it. But then, obviously, that happened. I lost all my games. Okay, we all got refunds and Ubisoft and stuff like that. But yeah, I lost my saves, my games that I was playing on, where I was at. Where with Steam, PC games, it's more of a case of if GeForce Now all of a sudden decided to go pop, I've still got Boostroid I can just move on to, and I've got all my games still. There's always going to be, well, at least I'd like to think at the moment, there's always going to be another bring your own game experience. So I think there is a market there for it, but well,
if they all go, you've got Shadow. It's only like 50 quid a month or something, but you've still got Shadow, this whole enterprise device that you can use.
Shadow works
great.
great.
Into that, I think I'd be going down and knocking on the neighbours to get my PlayStation back.
Nice. Pleading them, kissing their feet. Yeah.
might have to get back double the price, but yeah, I'll be like, please.
That's funny.
I think competition is great, and I think what the gaming space needs, especially console gamers, is they need to know about cloud gaming. So out of all my friends, I was the only person that was interested in cloud gaming. I'm usually that person that I'm a early adopter, hence the folding phone. But everybody isn't like me, right? And so my friends, they went on and on. Like, I'm a streamer, right, or a content creator, and I would make videos about Stadia. And I'm like, you guys know me, went to high school, and they're watching videos of other YouTubers like, oh, Stadia doesn't work, so much latency. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you. So I think the thing is, now that PlayStation and Xbox, or really, especially Xbox, got to give them all the credit in the world, they're really, really pushing cloud. Whenever they Game Pass, it always says cloud, console, PC, right? So people are privy to that knowledge, and even when they turn on their console, and PlayStation is getting great with this, you look at a game in PlayStation Plus, it says stream. So you're like, oh wait, what does that mean? You click on it, guess what? The game starts up. So I think they're helping to make cloud gaming popular. Whereas when I first got into Stadia, consoles and stuff, I mean, no one even really cared. I'm gonna be honest. If you were a PlayStation guy, which I used to always be, you didn't care about PlayStation Now, because that was just a means to play the older games that you already played. So if you was diehard, like none of my friends, none of us had PlayStation Now, so we didn't even realize it was cloud gaming. I was just like, it's something to play old games that I already played. So I think Rokk is right. I think, yes, GeForce Now, to Eddie's point, they might say, okay, cool. Like when Stadia went under, I thought, okay, that was going to make other people get out. No, you seen Black Nut, you seen Uton. Other people was jumping in, right, because there's more space. So, yes, GeForce Now may be even bigger, but I think the console player base, because they got the PC player market, right, because those are PC games. And like you said, you wasn't a PC guy, but you figure it was another means to play my games on the go. But if PlayStation and Xbox get out of it, that's going to tell gamers, a large majority of gamers, that cloud gaming just doesn't work. And this is why they're not even into it. And that's kind of how I felt when Stadia. I said, Google said we're done. And it gave me a jaded perspective, right? Then I shouldn't reflect that on the other companies, but it did. I'm human. So I was like, man, if Google couldn't pull it off, right? So I think if PlayStation and Xbox are pushing hard and they back up, that's going to make gamers say, oh yeah, we knew that cloud thing wasn't going to last. We was right. Like all my friends, right? When Stadia died, man, everybody was like, oh, what's up with that Stadia thing? I was like, oh, damn. But
I'm glad I wasn't the only one receiving those comments.
I was a big seller at work, and that's all I got for weeks.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, like I mean, I went into the office for the first time like 2 months this week, and I mean the second everyone who walked by my desk was like, what's that controller? It's like, oh yeah, it's a Kishi, and I would show them and mention it, like explain what cloud gaming was, and just boot up any game and just put them in their hands. And the second, I mean, we had kind of shoddy Wi-Fi at the office, so I was using the 4G, so it wasn't perfect. But the second every single one of them just tried it out, it was like, oh, why do people buy consoles? Like 10 people all said, why do people buy consoles if this works this well? I was like, and this is this is working badly right now compared to what it usually does.
Yeah.
So like
It's a very
I think
simple answer.
yeah, people don't know about it, and I think it's a hard thing because you don't like. I get it. I get why, like Xbox, PlayStation, Nvidia, or Booster, and all of these. I get why they don't go out marketing hard, because if they get 500,000 new users overnight, they have no service. They can't do. They need that slow trickling. But at the same time, whenever it's just a matter of getting people to try it, get it in people's hands. The second someone tries it out, they realize it's amazing, and then, I mean, most of those people, like I think 3 of those people I spoke to this in the office on Tuesday have since started using cloud gaming, just because they tried it out and it realized it worked, and then I was like, why? I don't need to. One of them was like, I bought Hogwarts for the PS4. And then it got pushed for the PS4, and then I canceled my order, and I wasn't gonna play it. And then I showed them it on running on Boosteroid, and now they have a Boosteroid account, and bought the game again, and they weren't gonna play the game at all. So I mean, cloud, I think
it can go both ways, though, can't it? I've done the same. I've convinced friends of mine to try cloud gaming. I've done exactly the same, just thrown the backbone on through this super powered switch in the hand. And they had a good experience then, but then when they've gone home and tried it, I've got a video from my podcast co-host, Massively Gaming, of a 1 frame every 4 seconds Lego Batman 3 on PlayStation Plus. I was like, for me, PlayStation Plus is the best performing at the moment. It's the one that starts up, runs flawlessly, and I don't have to think about it. It just works. Everything else, I've got to do port forwarding, lock the frequency, and all this sort of stuff. But he had that experience. Wibblesniff, one of my other co-hosts, he played the Phoenix Immortals Rising demo on Stadia, loved that, has a PC library, tried GeForce Now, and paid for priority, but this was a year or so ago, and he sat in a queue for an hour and said, nope, done. And it's like, everybody's going to have different experiences, and that's where the problem with cloud gaming sits. Everybody's having a different experience. If you put a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X in a house on this side of the globe in the UK, or on the other side of the globe in Australia, everybody's having the same experience. And until you can get that same sort of parity, the only people that you're going to get on any cloud gaming service are the enthusiasts, the people like us. And it's the same 6,000 to 8,000 people that are million people that are regularly playing, that are just cycling around all of these services, and at some point their wallets are going to run dry.
I mean, at the same time, a lot of it, and I noticed this in the Booster Discord that they've set up. A lot of those people in like using cloud gaming is also like the people who basically can't afford a console or a gaming PC, so they go for cloud because it works well enough for them. And I mean, out of those, like the majority, like 75% maybe of those, the people in that bracket can't use cloud gaming because of because their internet isn't good enough. But for that, like the rest of that 25%, I think it's probably quite sizable market though. So it is one where, and like, but those are the users that you don't want to get. You don't want to get all of those users into, like, onto the service at the same time, because then you have no service. So I get why they're not marketing, but I feel like even if, like, the optics of Microsoft and PlayStation backing out, yes, that would be a problem. But as long as they don't close it down, like as long as they just don't push it anymore. It's there. We have it. It is what it is. We put our games on there, but it's not gonna be something we push out. Then I think in that case, then I think they can do they can just ignore it for the rest of their life, and people will be it will work perfectly fine, I think, for the rest of them.
The biggest. Oh, go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
No, I just gonna real quick gonna say the greatest thing on our side is technology, right? What's gonna get better? Technology.
Yep.
Technology is never gonna go down, right? So internet's gonna get better, mobile service gonna get better, hardware is gonna get better. So that's the great thing about cloud gaming. We know that you could do so much more with cloud gaming, right? Because you don't have to worry about space, right? That's a big deal. So I think what's going to happen is what the world is waiting for to really make cloud gaming grab gamers. We need that cloud native game that cannot be on a console or a PC, or they're going to be like, it's 1,000 gigs and it looks so amazing, because that's what it is, show and tell, right? It's proof. Like Dorgan said, if you put it in somebody's hands, Dorgan, by the way, this is better. So if you put it in somebody's hands, right, the MGX Pro, because
are we flexing these controllers now?
No, but let me say something. How can that fit my phone? That little thing you got there.
Your phone is exactly the same dimensions as my S22 Ultra. It will fit.
It's not gonna fit this. This is 7.6 inches. It's 7.6 inches.
Oh, we're
All right, anyway.
comparing sizes here. It's weird.
Just saying.
Yeah, sorry for this.
That's what we got as gamers, right? That's what gamers do. But think about it, right? So imagine this game, right? That you're like, graphically, it's just stunning, and you're like, okay, if I got a high-end PC, I could play that too. And then you hear the size is like 1,000 gigs. You're like, whoa, what? Right? And then it's like, oh, you can only access that on the cloud, right? That would get gamers talking, but we need to see such game. Now we know Haven Studios supposedly working on 1,000 gig game. That's the only thing I could think of. And we got Kojima working with Microsoft with a cloud native game. So when whatever year this is, that might get gamers. Because think about it, gamers love to be wowed. You gamers get mad now when you get hard. The Series S is holding back the next gen because the games don't look that good. The moment we get this WoW game with 200 people running on the battle, well, we gotta be more than that, but 600 people running on the battlefield, like that's gonna.
You got 1,000 in Mountain Blade.
Okay, fine, 2,000 people. But you know what I'm saying though, right? Something that, because what gaming is about is a buzz. Bad buzz, good buzz. When you hear like, oh man, right? People just. Like, I rent my games, right? I've rented games like Elden Ring. I know darn well I wouldn't like Elden Ring, right? But it has such a buzz, I was like, well, I want to play it just to see how long I'm going to last till I'm like, okay, it's not for me. And I knew it wasn't, right? But I played it for like 8 hours, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
fair enough. I think I would last 10 minutes.
Please, that's the menu. You've got to get through the menu at least.
You got to just
No. From Software games, they're objectively good, not for me.
From Software games, where even the character creation is too tough.
Just a quick question on that. The complete cloud game that can't be on a console, can't be downloaded. It's too big to, it has to be in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Can anyone think of what genre that's actually going to be? Because I can't think of one.
That genre is Hideo Kojima. There is no other genre to it.
No, but so there's a video. If you look up Tencent, some months back, last year, there was a video of Tencent's making a cloud native game, and it kind of looked like Monster Hunter. Like they had pretty much, it was like dinosaurs, you're fighting and stuff like that. So they said they want to use their cloud technology to make the graphics amazing. So they showed like the scales and the detail, and that was just a little clip. So that's one game that I like.
Whistles at the end of the day. That's not a proper There's nothing like you could. I mean, you could the fidelity might be really cool. So people would want to try it out, but like there's no reason to stick around really after like the initial like wow moments. I think the true bring people over to cloud native games would be something like, something like Star Citizen on that scale, like where you simulate everything, where we
just less buggy, please.
Yeah, like be whoever you want, do whatever you want in a massive open world MMO style game. I think that's the next something like that, and that is something that also takes a lot of time to build. I mean, just look at Star Citizen, although that's mainly feature creep maybe in that case, and a lot of R&D stuff going on. But I mean, it's the sort of thing that I think we need. I mean, it's the sort of thing you need AI tools to build those games in the first place. You can't do that on a traditional scale. Like you need to do like clever procedural generation, and like generative AI, make use of generative AIs to make that a possibility at all. But then you also need to. Oh, that's a husky.
Hey, Poochie.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, from now on, this is Husky show.
Yeah.
I've got two, but the other
I'm
one
so
doesn't.
jealous.
Beautiful.
Dog
that
always
was fun.
wanted. Never got it.
Yeah.
So, you know, these are all like good, good reasons for cloud to become popular in that. But you also have to take in consideration the reputation of cloud, because I think everything is surrounded around that. If everybody's mind is always like, oh yeah, cloud lag, whatever, that if that's a popular mindset, it's never gonna pick up or anything like that. So that's what needs to build first and foremost. Because Cowboy, there was actually a game, and funny that Dre just came in the chat because he's the one who talked to me about that. There's actually a game that they've made surrounded in the cloud. It was called Scavengers, and it failed. It didn't work well. So they had like early access, and they gave a lot of perks to the people who joined in first, and then they made it open, and it just didn't pick up, and nobody played it. So the reputation wasn't there. They couldn't advertise it good enough and things like that. So you always have to take into consideration the reputation of everything also. For example, PlayStation, everybody's going to buy it because it's PlayStation.
Right,
Everybody, they have the reputation, and it's not a problem. Whatever they're going to try at us, if it's good, there's not going to be anything, bad coming out of it. So it's always something to take into consideration before everything else, in my opinion, anyway.
Well, I think that's why the Kojima game is very important, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a household name to gamers. And so, and partnering up with Microsoft, right? So everybody's heard of Microsoft. Everybody's heard of Kojima. If he could nail a game and you say this is a cloud native game partnered with Kojima and Microsoft, and if it's amazing, that might be the thing that make people say whoa.
Yes,
and
because because you're right, because what it's going to do, it's already picking up everybody who's influenced by liking Microsoft and Kojima together. So everybody in that group of people will really like it. Now, will it bring PlayStation people? Probably not. It's just going to break that.
But I got something for that. If it's on Game Pass on the xCloud, right? Yeah. Because I don't own. I keep telling people, I got to give Microsoft credit. I don't own an Xbox. Yeah. But guess what? I still play their games because I know the cloud does work, right? And I think, and again, like you said, oh, you paid just to play Hi-Fi, or Dorgon to play Hi-Fi Rush. I paid $15 just so I could play 2 games, right? So if this game is Kojima, and I'm telling you, got an amazing trailer, so people heard of Microsoft, even PlayStation guys, and they've heard of Kojima, right? Metal Gear was a big deal on PlayStation. Yeah. If you know you could just pay $15 one month just to try it, I'm pretty sure you might try it. And if the game is good.
Honestly, that's the perfect combination. You're right. That would be like the perfect game to boost whatever we need for cloud.
Yeah, but at the same time, what type of game would that be that would only be possible?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's there because it's Kojima and Xbox.
Yeah,
people
but
will be
let's say.
interested.
But I'm just trying to think what should he?
Well, Kojima released a walking simulator and it sold billions.
And I'm not debating that. It's just what would be the cloud native part?
I got you. You know what you do? So, here's the thing. We often want everything to be Stadia, right? Stadia had cloud features. I almost feel like no one's doing what Stadia did. Stadia was bringing features. Now what the rest of the cloud is doing is just bringing you games on more devices. So I think we got to get out of our head that somebody's going to allow us to be on our phone and control what people do. Let's let that go. So here's the thing. Remember, there was the PT demo. amazingly popular, so much that if you had a console, and I didn't notice, I deleted it. But if you still,
Yeah, we all
people
did.
buy,
Fool.
people buy. I know people buy consoles that still got the demo on there.
Yeah.
Imagine if Kojima had this new, expensive, amazing. He brought back PT.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be so cool.
And so here's the three
Yeah.
things that has to happen. One, it'll be Microsoft. Two is Kojima, and three, Game Pass is important because it can't be like a $70 game because people will be like, I'm not sure. But if it's $15 a month just to play it, dude, that and it. You
Yeah,
gotta
I'm just trying to. Yeah, Dorgan, go.
I just want to respond to Rokk. It's not walking simulator. It's DPD simulator.
Rokk,
Yeah.
listen, Rokk was so mad at me. Rokk was watching when I was playing Death Stranding. And I played it for 4 hours. I was like, I'm done. No, maybe I played it for 2. Rokk was like, no, you got to play that game for 4 hours to get into it. I was like, Brock, I'm not playing another 2 hours of this. Nah. But I need to go
He
back
was
and check it
right.
out, but
He was very right, but yeah, it's like
I was 2 hours away, huh? 2 hours away from the street.
you
man.
can't describe it any better than DPD UPS simulator. Like it is exactly the game. It's great. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
loving that PT suggestion. I think that'll be brilliant.
Yeah. They would like release the whole game, right? Or something like that. Oh my gosh, that would be so crazy.
It was
Even-
amazing. It was so good.
Even
Right,
something in the
wow.
same vein, that sort of looping hallway, but
Right.
with that power of the cloud, you could do more particle effects, more lighting effects, things that current hardware struggles with. You could even go as far as the like, AI generation of assets and scary monstery things. Like there's so many options available.
What?
It doesn't have to be this new mind-blowing experience. It just has to be the
Yeah,
best
now
of
we're
a
talking.
current experience.
Imagine this, okay? Just follow me on this journey. Imagine if every person in the game was a real person. So let's say, when you play a game and your role, we all got the same roles. Hey, I'm just the guy to kill the bad guys. But imagine if each person logged on and it was randomized, right? So, because some people might not want to be a role. You jump in and you're the main character. And then this
played
person...
World of Warcraft. People always
No.
want to be the bad guy.
No, hear me. No. I said everybody want to be the bad guy is what I'm saying. Like everybody, but it's like when you play the Predator game or Friday the 13th, everybody want to be the bad guy. So if you make it randomized, so everybody's not just waiting in the queue. So let's say I jump on, right? And Eddie's the main protagonist, right? Walking down the hallway. And then Phoenix end up being the killer, right? Because she just load up her game and it makes her be that person. And then he'll be a little overpowered, so that's why B's gonna jump in and he's gonna be another creature, and then you're gonna jump in because it's gonna be a multiplayer game, and like every person there is a real person, and you're all playing to do something. And so typically multiplayers is where things struggle, right? You see Google Cloud, they're doing a thing where they're trying to help live service games with their power, right? So just imagine this PT, but everybody in there is a real person because so many people. Hopefully, if so many people jump in to play. And I think PT is that popular, people will say, I want to play, but then they'll be like, wait, who am I? They'll call their friends, wait, my game looks different. Like, and people realize, like, oh, wait, we're all someone different in each, like, game, a session that you get put into, right? So maybe it might be 30 people in one game session, but everybody is a real person. And so they act differently, and they all got goals that they want to either... kill the good guy or kill the bad guy or escape or whatever. And it'd be this smorgasbord of, I'm trying to escape this house with killers and stuff, but everybody is somebody real. That would be, dude, that would be crazy.
Well, it's good to get everyone's gauge on it, because I mean, everything everyone says, it all comes back to that, I don't know, complete metaverse, Ready Player One world, where you go in and you can do whatever you want. You're in a gaming simulation. You think
Put
like,
your hand down, man.
do you need to go to the toilet?
No, I was just going to ask you, having read those and seen those, do we want that?
Why not?
But yeah,
There's a lot of death. A lot of actual real world death.
Wait, what? Oh, in the movie.
Yeah, that is a valid concern. To be
I
fair.
mean, come on. I'm like, we all watched Sword Art Online. Die in the game, die in real life. No thanks.
Well, Eddie's not saying that. He's just saying, lesser than that.
it's like I don't know, GTA, but
Yeah.
the next level. So
Next
you can
level.
you can go into an area, you can do your GTA. You can go into another area, or travel to another part of the world, and you can do, I don't know, Dead by Daylight. What kind of scenario you want to set up, but everyone in there is.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
you're
saying
always
everyone
the
is
same
their own
character.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
whatever
would-
room I go into, or whatever world I go to, I'm Eddie Rick. It's my avatar. It's me.
Right.
Yeah, and again, you can build up. So we have all these where you have your in-game currency. I can
Yeah.
have a flash
There are-
car.
there are a
I can have a
few-
hotel. I can, all these different kind of styles, but on a bigger level, and everyone's in that same game. But again, it's one of those that how long could you keep that entertainment, that grip on
Listen,
people?
B already. He's like, I already looked it up. It's not.
And I was gonna say I've actually there are like I've actually had one of the first game way back 15 years ago. I was like I want to be at some point working with building my own game, and it was like what you're describing but set in a fantasy world is pretty much what I had in mind then. It was like, yes, I want to build this, but that's not possible now. I mean we're getting to the point where it would be technically possible, at least. I mean, specifically when doing things like use of scalar, like the thing that they've been talking about for using that. I think you need, because what do you do? I think the issue though, I think with doing a GTA style or a MMO PT or something like that is you need players. If you don't have any players, that game is dead.
Yeah.
And cloud being kind of small still, and that would even if that would be the game intended to bring people into cloud gaming, if there weren't enough people in there when people who were new to cloud gaming jumped in, they would not see the appeal and jump out again.
Okay,
so I
fine.
think you
You
need,
ready? You guys ready? Fine, okay? I didn't think I'll have to go there, but you want players. Darn it, it'd be Fortnite Universe. Right?
Yeah,
and you
people
could
do that
only
already,
play
yeah,
it in the
probably.
cloud.
We're already there.
Yeah.
No.
We'll get to the when or if we get to the news section, we'll get to the story about that on that topic. I promise you.
Do you guys remember, it was so long ago, back when PlayStation maybe 3 launched, there was something called
PlayStation Home? Yeah.
Yeah, and you would make
Jack
your own
Deucer
little
was head of
avatar,
that, right?
you'd walk around. You'd
Yes,
go
I
off,
remember.
play your mini games. Oh my gosh.
I've been recording on it this week, that's all.
Oh, sweet. I can't believe they stopped that service. It was so fun. Everybody
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I mean, Jack
I-
Deucer, the head of
I
that, is
remember
now on
going
the
to E3 on it. They had
Ah.
a virtual E3. They had the booths there, all of the trailers. PlayStation Home was great.
hmm
It was one of those things as well. It was just like you could. I mean, when I was playing it,
I don't,
PlayStation
I don't
3
like
was well, been
Bjorn
teens or
trying to
something
trump
like that. So
me.
good to go through somewhere and just start playing pool with someone. You walked into
Yeah.
a random room, start playing pool, and that was it. Basic, easy.
Just fun and wholesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oregon, just so you know, this is the original 60 gig backwards compatible version.
Does it
I don't
work?
like you trying to trump me. So,
Does
all
it still work?
Good question, Peter.
right? Just so you know. Okay.
It's a break, but I mean, it's. I think what you need to use cloud gaming for, cloud native games to do, I would say, is just do the simulation parts. Kind of like how Star Citizen is building this simulated economy thing, where
Yeah.
if one player, even if there's just 100 people playing, if one player in one side of the galaxy takes out decides to do a bit of piracy and destroys a mining hub, then that it then simulates the effects of that on the overall economy, and then that means less iron in the area, which means less people working in the iron industry, collapse of that industry, which means people turn to piracy, which means other people cascades out into the universe, and then that can create stories and quests and missions all over the world that just happened because one player did one thing over here. That's the sort of thing you can't do. You need a live server that's cloud-based live server that can scale to that level in order to pull those things off, and then you can feed that into your game state either as the game is running locally, but if it needs data from that, which is what Star Citizen is doing. But I think you could probably take it one step further and how can do it even bigger, but on if you do cloud native. I think that's that's the sort of game that we want. Like I want someone to make, but it's one hell of a gamble. I don't think we'll see it for
Take
quite a while.
existing games as well, though. Take something like Destiny 2. I absolutely adore that game. I think it's great, but it breaks on a near weekly basis.
Oh wow.
We have extended server downtime regularly and patches nearly weekly to try and keep the thing running. If you hosted that entire game upon the cloud across all of these servers and it just ran flawlessly and didn't break, that's a massive step forward for a lot of people as well, especially in some of these. Yeah, Guild Wars 2. Another one that
they pull it off.
Yeah, just that is a big thing that cloud can assist
what is
with.
the graphics like in Guild Wars 2?
Guild Wars 2 is kind of dated graphics. It's decent, but the thing that they really managed to do, like this whole sharding thing that people keep talking about, like developers keep of MMOs try to do. They've had it live for years. They basically like if there is a it automatically scales the server world that you are in to a certain size, and then if it's like you are, it's now you and like like you below a certain threshold, it will say, so this server and this server, they are like they have two low populations, let's merge them into one, and it will say like, so click here to get a quick loading screen, and then you'll be right back where you were, but on a new server instance where we have more players. And that happens seamlessly. They can spin up, like they can automatically spin up new servers. You will, like if you are in one area of the world, and then it will bring you into the same server as someone else. If it's just you and someone else in one area, but you're on two different servers, it will bring you into the same one, so you can meet up. So that's the sort of dream that developers keep talking about, like wanting to do, and they've done it for years.
So that's the thing, right? So whatever they're gonna do, it needs to be something that's not possible without the cloud, right? And it's going to be hard because they're going to show us some more gimmicks, some gimmicks of like, oh yeah, look, we're doing this in the cloud, but they could do it without the cloud either. So it really needs to be something that it really blows our mind somehow.
So this is what you could do. So you know when you play Destiny, right? We all play Destiny, and when you're flying, it's a video of your ship. Now you play Warframe. Warframe, you could actually, it's your ship, but you can move it left and right. We need a game where we're on, let's say, planet Earth, and Dorgon's on Mars, and he's like, dude, it's a bunch of people here. Ninja guy isn't coming here yet because he's on Saturn. You got to get here. And I'm like, bro, I'm coming. I run to my ship, and I get in, and my ship start taking off, and I'm piloting my ship from Earth to Mars.
But that's No Man's Sky, isn't it? Or Star Citizens, yeah. Like they kind of did that already.
Yeah, but I need the graphics like Destiny. All right.
Then Star Citizen. You're describing Star Citizen, literally.
Okay, I never played Star Citizen.
I mean, it is early access, and very much early access. Like it's very, very buggy, and
you could get in your ship and fly from the planet. And you...
All it.
In all 3 frames a second, yeah.
It's
they need to pull down all of the simulation stuff that everyone does today. So I won't go out and wash the wife's car. I'll have to do it on a PC game. So all of that on Earth. So if you want to go flying from Paris to Australia, you can go to the airport. You can, earn your pilot's license and fly a plane. People do it on a game, So why not bring that into one part of the game? And then, like I was saying, then another part of it is you get a phone call. Oh, I'm on Mars. It's all kicking off. Get over here quick. So you run over, get into your spaceship, thingy, and that shoots you off onto another server. And it's combining all of that. To do kind of a game like that is going to be only cloud to get that much into one single game. It'd have to be multi-server every. So you're talking a whole cloud solution, but that's going to take eons of time and
it will
1 billion developers.
Rokk, no, it's not. It's subscription based, but they have it has pay to win tendencies. You can pay for real money. You can spend real money on, but like all the ships, like you can buy in game, but you can also then just say, I want this really cool ship that costs real money, 500 pounds, and then you can just pay 500 pounds and get it, or you can run the game for a couple of weeks and then you can buy it in game. And the people pay tens of thousands of dollars for those ships, just to have
Wow.
all of the ships, and it's
It's
crazy.
the same as skins in CS:GO, isn't it? Like people pay
Yeah, honestly,
ridiculous
really.
amounts of money.
That's
Yeah.
the unfortunate thing about what we're not going to see with home anymore, right? It's just like pay to get some stuff in the game. Like it's always just a bother to do that. You know, when you want something, I'd rather just grind in the game to get whatever I want. Just pay like just a
Yeah.
one. But I guess in the
Yeah,
world that
but
we
if-
live now, it is what it is.
Yeah, and if it's a live service game, they got to make money somehow. You know, like I always thought Marvel Avengers had a good system, right? So it was a popular IP, so you figured they was going to use they was given permission to use all 80 years of Marvel, so they could pull a comic book outfit or an MCU outfit, right? So they said, hey, all the DLC we add is free, but we got to make revenue off of the outfits, right?
Yeah.
So and the takedowns, right? So they was able to make money on that. Unfortunately, they just didn't add enough content because people were buying all these outfits. I mean, I didn't, but people was buying all these outfits. But you need enough, so you got to match it, right? You got to give me enough stuff to do so I could keep buying outfits, you know. So then some people say, well, it's better. They should have just charged you for DLC like Destiny, and then outfits would have been free and you found them and stuff like that. So it's interesting to know which way you should go. But these companies still need to make revenue in order to keep
Yeah.
the game live service.
And that's fine because, you know, like me and you, we don't have to pay money and we're kind of getting the same experience. That's fine.
Right.
It's when it comes to like,
You can't move forward. Like
Yeah,
it's so
things like
hard.
that,
You need this
or-
special weapon, but it costs
Yeah.
$10.99.
yeah, exactly. Like things like that. Things that change the gameplay too. Like you can only get this weapon that does different kind of moves if you pay for it and things like that. When it comes to aesthetics, who cares? Whatever. It's not the end of the world. I'll pay whatever I want to support them, and that's going to be it. But yeah, I see what you mean by that.
As long as we're not talking Diablo Immortal levels payments, then
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
So, just based on that question, then, anyone here played the Diablo 4 beta yet?
I
know
haven't
Will
played
Smith-
it.
Or I mean, let's put it this way: anyone interested in Diablo 4?
I'm not. My
Oh,
co-host is, and
Will
he
Smith,
gave
yeah.
me the longest message ever. So, Phoenix, you go first because you're actually interested. I'll grab his message for afterwards.
So, have I played it yet? No, I haven't played the beta. But I am definitely gonna download it when it's open for download. I played a lot of 3 actually, so 3 is the only that I've played. I haven't played any others, and I did invest quite a lot of time in it to the point where it did get a little bit repetitive for me. But
Oh.
I think that's because we were playing it like kind of like a couch co-op kind of setup. Didn't get the most out of the game that way, but I will definitely be looking at 4, and I think we're going to pick it up and give it another go.
Cool. Before you start, Doragon.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's also bring in ER as well before Torgon gets
Yeah. The
the
reason I come up with the reputation, right, for the Cloud to be good is because of Wibblesniff. It's because you mentioned that he had queues to wait for Cloud and it didn't interest him, but then he got queues to wait for Diablo 4, but he's still super into it, right? So that's where I got the idea that this could be why. But anyway, so I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. ER, have you been Diablo
Not
4
played
for-
it, and I have to admit I've never played any of the Diablo series.
Oh,
Yeah.
Quite close to me then. I've played a few hours of 2 back in the day, but didn't grab me at all. I've never been interested. All right, Doragon.
Hold up,
Let it
right.
rip.
Let me,
Sorry.
before he goes, before you go, I just want to say
Okay.
this. I was a massive fan of Diablo 2 on the PlayStation 2. Played tons of hours. I don't know why I got out of it. Maybe I got into different genres for some reason. Maybe, I don't know. But I was a massive fan, and I guess I just never transitioned on. So that's why I don't have any interest. But it looks very similar, just way better graphics. And part of me is like, you know what? I think I'll probably rent it. Just to see if it could suck me back in. But again, it's one of those games where you got to sink so much hours into, and I feel like I could only have one game at a time where I'm just putting so much hours. But unfortunately, which is cool though, I did push my show back an hour so I could be hang on here, so I could do at least an hour and a half, which is cool. But I do
Yeah,
have
you need
to
to start
go.
prepping.
But dude,
No worries,
and
man.
I'm sorry that I asked the Luna question, which added more time.
No,
but
it's
I just
good. It was
wanted to.
good.
We're having fun.
You know,
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
like,
enjoyed.
yeah, like, I just want to say, like, panel first and foremost, this is a panel show. Like, if we can spend 2 hours talking about the panels and just ignore the news, then that's a win. The news is to pad out the weeks where we don't have have as much discussion as we have this week. So thank you for doing that, I would say, and also thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, thank you. I like so bad want to stay longer, but I originally was gonna only could be on for a certain time, and I told people, and they was like, all right, and then I was like, I know I'm gonna be talking to you guys. I'm gonna love it, so I changed the time later, and I'm like, all right.
Oh, that's good for the algorithm, though. That's really good for the algorithm.
Listen, man, you know,
You
but
get, you get
but
more
anyway,
impressions that way.
Oh, keep pushing it back.
Yeah. Keep pushing it back. when it's 15 minutes left, you push it back for another. Like, you keep it to be like within 15 to 20 minutes ahead. Like, starting in 15 to 20 minutes, and do that for like an hour. You'll get like 500 impressions easy from just doing that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, just stick your just starting screen up. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can wait.
So you telling me I should play another 15 minutes? No, but but man, this was awesome. It was cool meeting all of you guys. I met Eddie before, and it's cool meeting Phoenix and my guy Durgan, obviously. But you know, I got stuff that's always bigger and better than him, and my guy Ninja Guy X, and also you too, B. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna have to catch the rest of it. Man, I love talking games, so I'm so mad that I'm going, but you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. But
Hey,
guys,
we'll see you
Have a
next
good
week.
show
Sure,
yourself,
man.
man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so
have a
much.
good
guys.
one.
All right.
See you,
Later.
cowboy.
All right.
See you, cowboy. Right,
right.
Dorgo.
The moment
I
of
want to hear
truth.
the I want to hear the message now.
Oh my god. Honestly, I kid you not, like, this is my thumb scrolling, and it's just like, it's monstrous. So I'm going to try and cliff note it for you. So Wibblesniff put over 4,000 hours into Diablo 3. He has put similar into 2 and 1 previously. So this is like a 12,000 hour player. And he's refunded Diablo 4 after the beta last weekend.
What?
So, first reason, it plays like a less fun Lost Ark. It doesn't feel like a Diablo game, which for the 4th one in the series, it probably should feel like a Diablo game, not like something completely new. The dungeons are boring, for lack of a better term. There's so much backtracking just to get keys to open doors, and the map variation just isn't there. Melee, I have no idea what any of these words mean, so it doesn't feel good. That's the upshot,
Wow.
70-odd words. There seems to be a lack of end game. We don't know what it is. Nothing has been announced. What does it look like? What do we do? We're 3 months out from launch, and it makes him incredibly nervous. There's a lack of fun. He's played a lot of it over the course of the beta weekend, and there were enjoyable moments, but not once did he sit there, even with a full team of players, and laugh and have a good time, which worries him. The UI is outdated, clunky, and unreal. It's so old feeling, and D3 on console felt loads better, and that's from 2012. So yeah, 11 years of development, and they haven't brought a decent UI. The camera needs moving out slightly. That's it. That's all it needs. The final straw, druids not having shape-shifting in the beta. Silly, I know, but it's their big thing, and it's not available as it's in Act 2. So he's very nervous about the state of the game because it doesn't feel anything like a previous Diablo. And the things that are in there don't feel right, don't feel balanced. And it's in our Discord, Zarina. I'll try and get a link into chat if it'll let me.
Oh, I'll send her a link to the Discord. I'll invite her in.
Yeah, so he's put a massive review up in there. So yeah, I don't know Diablo well. I've done similar to Phoenix. I played it with a roommate when he was living. He brought his 360 in, and then we stacked the consoles and we played everything together and got very lost in video games for about 6 months. Didn't know what the sun was. Literally had to go touch grass at one point. Diablo 3 was part of that, and I don't remember much of it other than the camera and the art style. That's how much sort of impact it had on me in that blur of video games. So I'm not someone to talk on it, but if anybody wants to really talk Diablo, like my podcast co-host Wibblesniff is one of the guys you want to turn to.
But 4,000 hours.
Around 4,000 hours. It might be more.
Per game,
investment.
per Diablo game, not just
Yeah.
all. So that's 12,000 hours into Diablo in total from that guy. That's impressive. Yeah, I saw a review, like some early impressions review on Twitter. Someone saying like this just feels like Immortal, but with slightly without the touch interface, basically. I was like,
That's
And-
a scary thing.
And
yeah.
money. Yeah, the pay to win stuff either. I'm assuming. Hopefully.
I'm not sure about that part though. I think
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really?
I don't know. I think it was like it's just skimmed through the comment. It might have been something about the.
There's a
Like,
lot of fear. There's nothing in the beta, obviously, because it's
Yeah.
a beta and they don't want to charge people in the beta because then they're not going to buy the game. But there's a lot of fear in the Diablo community that it's going to be a pay-to-win game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell because Blizzard has been having a hard time with their games lately. Like, I feel like they're every time there's like first impressions on their new games, it's always going down. So it's hard to say. Like Overwatch 2, people I don't know how it is now, but I know that people when they start playing it wasn't
Yeah.
what they expected. Is it really? Yeah.
It's empty.
Oh
It's
my
all the
gosh.
sweats. It's only the
Yeah.
sweats left.
Man, it's so unfortunate. I'm not like an expert in Blizzard, but yeah, it seems like they're having a hard time right now.
Yeah, I think Blizzard is Blizzard and Activision in general is one of those studios and publishers where it's like I enjoy maybe like one or two franchises that they have, and they have like 20, 40 of them. It's like I like Crash and Spyro. The others I don't really care for.
Like,
But maybe
when's the
and
next
I'll-
one?
Pretty much the same. Throw Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in as well,
Yeah.
and that's the
Classic.
three I like from there.
That's
Where's the
pretty
next
much my
Warcraft,
childhood.
right?
And
Yeah.
why are they worth so much money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have Spyro, Crash, and Tony Hawk. That's why.
Yeah, I mean those are worth like $70 billion.
Yeah. Tony Hawk on his own is worth $70 billion. The fact he
Crash.
just drives past skate parks shouting, do a kickflip at people. Like,
Yeah, I
that
saw-
man
I
is worth
think-
70
yeah,
billion.
I saw they have. I saw by the way that the new Crash Bandicoot game actually have a. I think it hasn't released it, but might have released it, but at least the pre-orders are up, and if you pre-order,
Yes.
you get into the beta in like April or something.
Hey, I haven't completed 4. It's so hard.
This is.
I heard.
This feels like a battle royale style, like arena shooter kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
like
Oh,
Crash
are we going back
Bash
to
back in the
Crash
day.
Bash?
Yeah.
Are we going back to Crash Bash?
Crash
Yeah.
Bash, amazing.
Yes!
Loved it.
It's Crash Bash meets Overwatch. I think it looked. Like.
Oh God! Don't say
I-
that.
I am
Yeah.
so up for trying that. I am so
Yeah, I'm
up
up
for trying
I'm
that.
scared because Blizzard, like Activision.
Yeah.
But I'm so down for it.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
So four player, 4 versus 4 player arena battle thing.
God, hardcore. Jesus.
Yeah, it's gonna
Wait.
be mental.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Bring it on.
We need to
But
play
yeah.
some Crash Bash beforehand, right? We need to have like a session and play some
Yeah.
Crash Bash.
Also, by the way, we should totally do like a community playthrough of like Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
A new one.
I am there. So there.
I got it on PlayStation
fucking
4,
kart
so there you
racer
go.
ever.
Yeah.
Although I did see Lego actually announced today together with 2K, the Lego 2K Drive, which kind of looks like a really fun kart racer as well. So
Yeah.
maybe
I hope
maybe
when
they
you
could-
crash,
I
they
don't
fall
think they
apart
can.
Lego style.
it seems they do.
Oh, man.
And like they and like I think you design your own kart, and then you can design your own like plane and boat as well. And then if you go into water, it will like automatically like switch over to that.
It master builds when you switch.
Exactly.
I love it.
So
Now, the
hopefully,
only pain with that's going to be if you fly between trees and you lose your wings.
Oh, no.
You have to go
No.
rebuild it.
That's my spoiler when I go back on land. No, no.
yeah. I mean, hopefully it will be like I love Crash Team Racing. At some point, some games should dethrone it as the best kart racer ever because, I mean, we want.
Mate, Mario
the
Kart's been trying for years and failing. Like,
Yeah,
come
but we
on.
want-
They
we
just
do
re-released
want-
the same game and won again.
Yeah, but we do want. I mean, at some point, we do want the industry to move forward, right? We want a better kart racer at some point.
If no one can do it, no.
It
If
has
they're
to be
not
like
good
a-
enough, just
Yeah, I'm just saying. if someone is good enough, hopefully we can get one. And I mean, who knows? Maybe Lego one can be that. That would
Maybe.
be really fun.
Maybe.
But yeah, should we go into news, or should we just keep talking about fun stuff? What do you feel?
Oh
Keep
man.
talking fun stuff, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh man, for sure. What game are you guys the most excited for? Like 2023 is such a good year for games. I'm sure every one of you guys has a game that you're excited for.
Yeah, I have
this
one
year.
game.
Yeah, tell me.
I wonder which
Baldur's-
one.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah, in August. Looking forward to
Yep.
that for sure.
Like that's a game for the rest of this decade for me, I think.
Nice. I can imagine. What about you? Yeah.
I didn't hear you said then. Was that me?
Yeah, let's
Wait.
go with you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch the name.
I didn't hear it either,
Let's
but
be
like,
quiet.
yeah, let's go with you.
My new favorite game, looking forward to, because we found out it's coming to GeForce now, is Gollum. Look forward to it.
Gollum!
It looks a good
Man.
platformer.
Gollum is coming out around the same time as Zelda Tears of Kingdom, so it's going to be very dangerous. I don't know if it's going to do well because of that. Getting in the same release date as a Nintendo game is has always been super dangerous. But
Not just any Nintendo game though. The sequel to the greatest game they've ever released. Yeah, it's a dangerous point.
definitely. But
I'm lucky that I haven't tried the first one yet, so.
I couldn't get on with it, but I've been shouted at by so many people in my community. I am going to have to go back and try to get on with it.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if you like it, Duragon, but definitely give it a try at the very least, right? Because like it's an open world game, but it's very empty, and I don't know how you're going to feel about that, you know. But definitely a gorgeous game, though.
Yeah, Phoenix, what's your looking forward to game for this year?
Resident Evil 4, the remake,
Ah.
is tomorrow.
Yes.
Yay!
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. Although we play through all of them with a friend, but 4 is the one that I can't really remember playing.
Wow.
I think it was like originally on maybe GameCube. Like I
Yes.
can't really remember.
Yeah, it was,
The original was
originally a GameCube.
Yeah, so got that. And then looking ahead, Dead Island 2.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's
cool.
next month, 20th or 21st of April. So
Okay.
really looking forward to that. I played the first one a lot. It's the third for some reason, but it's Dead Island 2. But there's been
Oh yeah, there's Riptide. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, that one. And also I had this week. So
Oh,
it's-
Strangers of Paradise. Is that it? Yes. Nice.
That's it. Yeah. So that was out last year, about a year ago. But we've picked up 2 copies to play over the weekend because it's got co-op apparently. So
Nice.
give that a go. But yeah, that's all me games lined up for the next few months.
I was eyeing Strangers of Paradise at my game store today. Last week, because it went down in price, right? It's
Yeah,
a little bit
that's
cheaper
why-
now.
Yeah. So I think it was like 20 something on Amazon.
Wow.
So a lot
Oh, that's
cheaper.
awesome.
Yep.
Wow, that's actually cheaper than what I've seen it. I've seen it for like $50 in Canada, and that's about like maybe 40 some pounds sterling, I think. But anyway, yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean that should keep you busy until August, and then you can just go Baldur's Gate for the rest of the year. So
Yeah, everybody will play Baldur's Gate
Yeah,
in August.
You
I-
face a big problem with September though.
Really?
Yes.
well,
Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is releasing in September.
I have Baldur's Gate at that point. I'm good.
Yeah, but
But
can you
Venom,
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter.
That's
Can you
gonna be
switch
my
your building
mouthful.
in Baldur's Gate?
Can you thwip?
Probably yes.
Well, yeah, to be fair.
You forget which game this is. This is a game.
Yeah. Touche. I can thwip in Destiny at the moment. It's got a bit ridiculous. Everyone can now thwip.
What the heck is whip? What is that?
It's the noises Webb makes. Have you never
Oh.
read any of the comics? Whenever he's coming out of his web shooters, it says thwip.
Ah, interesting.
Like I haven't read it. I understood it. Like
See, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Plus
like
it
the
just
same
makes
with
sense.
Wolverine, right? When his claws come out, it's like
Nick.
T, like TFK. Yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. The only comic book thing that I know is Whoosh. I think that's the only one I know, so that's the one I'll take. Does it whoosh?
and the rest of them is like whoosh.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. Oh man, what about you, Dragon? Any games you're excited for?
Oh. Well, Thwip is definitely top of that list.
Thwip 2, yep.
Yeah, Thwip 2.
Nice.
Outside of that, there's not a lot that's really taken my fancy this year. Resi 4 is going to be on the list, but it's further down the line when it comes down in price for me, because it's one of those games, I've already played it, enjoyed it, I don't want to spend a fortune on it again, sort of thing. It's not a top of the list one for me. But yeah, I need people to announce some things, because there's a lot of DLC, a lot of like other additional bits to games I've already played coming out that I'm looking forward to, but there's just Thwip 2.
It sounds like you need something to drop quite soon to keep you busy until the Crash Bandicoot game in June, and then from June to August you need to play that, and then in August you can play a bit of Baldur's Gate, and then September Thwip 2, and then you can alternate them between until the end of the year. I feel like we just come on, game developers watching this, we need just something to release in the next couple of weeks to keep your
man, Master Ninja Guy X needs to. Oh, go ahead, Eddie.
That's right. I was going to say, if you're talking month, you've got Jedi. What's Jedi Survivor? What's everyone's thoughts on that?
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I need to finish Fallen Order first, and it's so weird.
You like card games?
I like actual card games. I like poker.
No, but like card battler games on.
Some. It has to have something unique to it.
I mean, my like friends of the show, Enabling Dragons, have their game launching into early access next week, so we could check that out.
Okay, I'll give that one a look.
Metroplex Zero, one of honestly the best card battler that I've played, and I've played a lot of them at this point, so excited about that one. But yeah, I've played that quite a bit already.
My card battles have to be I don't know what the genre is. It has to be gimmicky enough to pull me in. So like I think the only two I've ever played has been Clash Royale, and then more recently Marvel Snaps.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's as far as my card games go. But I probably do need to venture. I do enjoy playing them. So it's probably that venture out.
You probably like Gwent. Have you played The Witcher?
Nice.
No,
Gwent
it is in my backlog and forever probably will be, because I never get around to it.
Gwent in The Witcher 3 is amazing. Standalone Gwent is also amazing, but very different.
Very different. You just it's just free download on mobile. Just download it, play it.
PC and console.
Oh, and PC. Yeah. It's a great card game, great card battler, very tactical. If you're half good at chess, you'll have a great time. If you're crap at chess, you'll also have a great time, because you'll lose a lot.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same with like Magic the Gathering as well. Magic Arena is a great digital adaptation of the old classic card game. Surprisingly free to play friendly, even though you can spend real money to get those card packs, but like I think like if you play like 2 or 3 matches a day for a week, then you have enough to buy like 2 packs easily. So it's kind of like you can play every now and then on your phone. It's really, really good. Magic the Gathering has been around since like the 70s or something at this point. I think it is, or like the 80s. And it still holds up well because it's that good.
It's great.
I remember everybody thinking it was new in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there's even I have seen there was this weird video on YouTube where one guy actually managed, like, he built a deck in Magic the Gathering, and it's basically like, so if you draw a specific first hand, then you basically have a working computer. Using the you can but like a calculator, you can give it a math problem, and then you can like play cards as inputs, and then you will get an output in the form of so I now have 5 of these tokens, meaning the answer was 5, and it was like it could answer any math problem you threw at it. That really and if I mean a card game that can build a calculator with a deck is kind of impressive.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Also
for me, like,
mind-boggling.
Completely useless to play in a duel though, but
hey, whatever works.
Yeah, fun experiment. No, but like Metroplex Zero, I can like if you like card games or are interested in trying one out, I can recommend it. Like same vibe as like Slay the Spire or Rogue Book that we had, for example. But basically, like what I really like about it is the fact that you have like there's quite a lot of different sets of cards that you can unlock, but you can only bring quite like I think it's like 8 cards or 13 cards or something like that into the actual battles, and then you can between each battle you can swap it out and change things up, but you're quite limited in what you actually bring into the actual battles, which makes for a very strategic session. So.
Yeah, I think the only card game that I've played is kind of like a game within a game, and Ninja, I'm sure you're familiar with Triple Triad in Final Fantasy.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, really
one.
good.
They
really
need to constantly release these card games within games as standalone games.
Yeah.
There was one in
So
Carter
much
Encyclopedia back in the day, which my mum kept stealing my PC to play. Just release it as a standalone and let her play it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I've
Honestly,
so many hours in Final Fantasy 14 where you can
they put it in
and
there.
play and just sit there just playing Triple Triad all day, like haven't done the story at all, just gambling.
yeah. Honestly, best like one of the best parts of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the board game that they had in like the in-game board game. It was really good. I was so excited when I saw that they were actually doing a like limited edition release of that board game, and then I got really sad when I realized it was so expensive.
It was like, ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, like 300 pounds or something for it. I mean, like there was no. And it was super premium with like dice made out of wood and stuff. But like yeah, I just want like I'm happy with like the most basic thing you can give me. I just want the bloody game, the board game. But no,
that my friend,
make it in plastic.
Is what Etsy is for.
Yeah, I need to head over to Etsy and get one of those because that's a really good board game. But yeah, they're like honestly, like me and a couple of friends, we meet up like once a month to play board games and drink some beers, and it's like there are some really good board games. So yeah, find yourself a board game group and play board games, people. It's awesome.
Beware of the board games, though. You might be there for 3 days.
You
mean
the
Twilight Imperiums of the world? Yeah, we play them regularly as well.
And don't get into Dungeons and Dragons.
I was not prepared for this, though. I was told it'd be a nice afternoon of board games at 6 a.m. the next day. I'm like, oh crap.
We're halfway through.
No, quarter.
Okay, yeah. No, but Twilight Imperium is amazing, but it takes forever. We when we played it last time, we met up at we arrived at 10 a.m. We set things up and started playing at 12. So 2 hours to set it up, and we've played it several times before, all of us. And then it followed basically 11 and a half hours of intensive play until we had a winner. And like we've played the game 10 plus times at this point, so we know the game pretty well with this specific group. So yeah, it's it's an undertaking, especially if you're new to it. Yeah, there's some really like simple board games as well that are just brilliant. One of like my absolute favorite board game. You need 8 people to really enjoy it, but Captain Sonar, like find 7 people to play with. Get yourself a copy of Captain Sonar. It's incredible. It's basically you play as 2 teams of 4 people in each team. You're submarines. You try to find the other submarine and shoot them down. The only thing is the submarine is constantly breaking while you do it. And then one person on each team is just sitting there and listening to what the other team is doing and trying to figure out where they are. It's that simple and it's brilliant.
It's superb. It does cause arguments, which is even better.
Yes, you get loud, which is also great.
Beware of spillable objects. There'll be much standing and banging.
Yeah,
I don't think I've come across any board game that hasn't caused arguments yet. You can go as easy as like playing Frustration is frustrating when you get to that last little chip count and they go, oh no, back to the beginning you go.
It's in the name. Have you ever played Sorry? Like, never has such a beautifully apologetic word that is meant to make people feel better been so violent. Like, you're about to win. Sorry, you've just lost everything. Like, ow! It's
Yeah.
such a harsh game. And
Absolutely
it's a
so.
friendship
We'll always
ruiner.
have to have, new games for the family. But
Yeah,
it's well.
go with that one if you don't like them, especially.
Nice.
But yeah, guys, we've been at it for 2 hours, and it's almost midnight, and I need to head to bed. So let's just wrap this up now, I think, because it's been one hell of a show. We managed to do a show without the news, guys. So that's a new record.
Wow.
So applause to all of you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. And I mean, yeah. Let's go around the table and see, so everyone can say what they're up to. Phoenix, let's start with you. What's your plan for the next week?
Planting some more veg in Disney's Dreamlight Valley.
Good.
And a bit of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
No zombies.
Planting
I'm surprised.
plants
No
are there as well, right?
zombies. Yeah, and Final Fantasy as
Yeah,
well.
but let's be honest. You're gonna be planting stuff in Hogwarts as well, right?
I haven't got that far yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
You'll get there. Don't worry.
Ooh.
Soon it will open
Well,
up that same book of worms over there as well. You'll be doing the same thing in Hogwarts as you will be in Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah,
Uh,
I get distracted so easy. That's my problem.
Awesome. And yeah, will you be doing any of those things on stream, or will the streams be something completely different?
Maybe.
So possibly that, or something completely
Maybe.
different.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, head over to Miss Phoenix's Twitch
Yes,
and
just
follow her
Twitch.
there.
Thank you, guys.
And Dorgon, what's happening with you for the next couple of days?
So I had a new video go up just before we came live on this show, going over my first impressions of Luna. I had a video yesterday about how to stream console input from Android, and that's fun. That's going to change the way I can do things, change the way quite a few people can do things, which
Cool.
is great.
Yeah.
And I am currently testing Boosteroid for a future review, so things are going to get interesting.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that this one is better.
Yeah, I can't.
We'll see. We'll see.
Can't wait to see the review, and then I hope we can drag some early access impressions out of you as well. It's always fun to see what people think about different cloud services. Eddie, what's happening over at your place?
I'm pretty much just going to be concentrating on getting to the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. Hopefully by end of next week, I'm planning. But yeah, it just depends on time. But yeah, since I got me set up, obviously on the mental gaming weekend, I had problems streaming through the laptop and with video capture cards, so I probably won't be streaming any. But yeah, aim is to get to the end of the game.
Yeah, cool.
Little £7 one works. It's great.
Yeah, I have one just like it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like $14.
Yeah.
It's so cheap.
Yeah, who needs an Elgato when you have that
What?
stuff?
Yeah, so
Guys, 6
I
months
tried
ago.
to go for a nice fancy one, so I could capture it from the Chromebook and send it up to monitor so I can clearly see it. But yeah, it's not a bad one, but
Yeah, that's the upgraded one. I want to upgrade to that one too.
I've got that one too. It doesn't work for me.
I found it's not working for me. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
Like I have a separate box to the HMI splitting, and then I have the most simple cheap one.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was hoping it would become simpler, just load it up on PC and go. But now I have a Chromebook. I have this. I have a
Oh, yeah,
split
it's a
here.
whole mess.
Yeah, I have everything everywhere.
Yeah. Ninja, what's been happening in the next couple of weeks days for you?
Yeah. I'll just talk about my channel, but so guys, keep a lookout. I'll be doing some first looks as usual, but I've got 9 first looks left to do.
Oh, wow.
And when I'm done with that, it's not that much. I had like 40 at some point, but yeah. But after that, I'm gonna switch my channel a little bit, and I'll be doing a full Kingdom Hearts marathon. So I'll be going through all single Kingdom Hearts game, including the DS one. I'm not gonna go through like the HD cutscenes. I'm gonna go through the whole games, which are like 40 hours each, and it's gonna be a
One
super
sitting?
fun time. No, yeah.
Now you are.
Definitely, yeah. If that's what you guys want, yeah. No, looking forward to that. It's my favorite series, so it's gonna be super fun. And so that's pretty much it. Keep a lookout. Every Friday, I do my ITI interviews. This week, I'm interviewing the Priority which is the developer of a WTC Relentless Protagonist SNX. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Hopefully, it's the type of game that you like, and we'll yeah, get you guys to learn more about this developer.
Sweet.
And I'm still chipping away at that Shadow PC review that I'm working on. I actually have the script is done, the script is recorded, the rough edit is done. I realized I have no footage, so
Hey!
so I'm working with grabbing some footage. That's my current thing. And then and just like Ninja said about first looks, I have like 5 I need to do. That I have had on my plate for like 2 weeks now and still haven't gone into. So, you know, I need to schedule a stream to begin with, and then another 4 right after, or something like that. And then I also need to decide which day you and I should meet up and do Hear Me Out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We haven't done that
about
this
that.
month, and
Yeah.
it's on me. Like I basically asked like which days you work for you, and you were like, yeah, any
day.
And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll check my schedule, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know. I
And
haven't decided yet. So
something excited about that is that we have another main co-host that will be with
right
us now.
we do. She gets to decide then. I don't have to do
Yeah,
any
it's a
more
she.
decisions.
So keep a
Yeah,
lookout
well-
with that. We'll make some announcements
yeah.
later.
Hear Me Out, the video game music podcast will be coming soon with another episode. Yeah. So I think we're done. I think we did it, guys. We managed to go a full 2 hours without talking about the news. There's a bunch of news. Like seriously, I think we could have talked like 3 hours about just the news that I've put into the show notes. But
Probably great
yeah,
we didn't
there
go for
are-
it then.
there are stuff like GFN have news out, Booster has news out, everyone has news out, and we are done with the show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers, everyone. See ya.